Hello, hello, hello. It's the mic. Good morning, everybody. Just this. Move this out of here. I need to have a nicer way to come into the live stream, I think. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another day. This weekend has been really a whole lot of nothing. Here's the daily chart that we have for BTC. We'll just start with BTC and then, like usual, and work away from there. The story of the day is the lack of volatility on any of these markets. There's been almost no movement, or at least no significant movement in either direction. Volatility is at 50, which is the lowest it's been all year, which I guess is understandable, seeing how we've been compressed into this wedge and we haven't broken out of it yet. Let me get rid of, I wonder if I can bring up, if there's a volatility chart for that I can bring up. Indicators, volatility, relative historical. Is it? I forget the name of the volatility index that needs to be used. This one seems about right, but it's the numbers are way off. But if we zoom out, oh my god, this line is impossible to see. Let's change it. Style. Let's change it to yellow, and let's make it thicker. So here's the daily, right? And you can see the volatility is just, it's gone from, this is all, the numbers are all off here, but you can see it's gone orders of magnitude down from this level down to here, at this level down here. The current levels of volatility are just making it really hard to trade. I think if you were accumulating, the volumes are kind of dropping off a little bit, which isn't great. You know, we can see here's a decrease in volume, especially as we've been moving up, right? So decreasing volume plus flatlining prices really shows that you know, we could be in for another retest of the lows, because there's really nobody buying on the way up. You would think that as we move up, there's increased buying, but there hasn't been. So I'm not very, I just don't really have any opinions until we move out of this range, which has been a really boring range. So to talk about this, let's go down to an hourly chart. Last night, before I went to bed, we had this nice little spike down, which I thought was going to be the beginning of the down move, to come down and to test 6,400, because right now the standard deviation levels for today are, where is my, I want to draw a box. Where can I draw a box? Parallel channel. So right now, the standard deviation levels are right around 67.80. We're going to draw this up for the next day, to 2nd October. Right, so this is one standard deviation level. The other one is right down at 6,400. So this is our probable one standard deviation expected movement for today. Now, whether we go up or down from here, completely unknown. But really, this is what we're looking at for here in the movement. I would expect that we test this 6,400 area, as we're having declining volume, like very declining volume, as we're moving up. You know, we've seen the big volume spikes on the down moves and not on the up moves. So there's more deleveraging taking place. All right, so also to take a look, we can take a look at the book. So let's take a look at the heat map for BTC. Bear in mind this is for BitMEX. Oh, isn't it supposed to? That's weird. Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's my wife. So we can see from the heat map, as we zoom in, we can see from the heat map that the book has flipped. It just has now flipped down to the 6400 area. So we're seeing a lot of the asks being taken off and then being moved down into the bids. Which kind of indicates that the expectations of the move and where people are expecting liquidity to tend towards are further down. Sorry, here. So here we are. Let's just, oops, what did I do? Let's go back down. So the book is flipped. What has it done? There we go. Okay, so let's do that a little bit. So the book is flipped now. The big area being stacked up is this 6550 area, and we're seeing some of the bids being taken out of this 6700 area. So and also down here at 6450 as well too. We're seeing a lot of bids be stacked up. However, it's worth noting that the bids are very close to where the price is right now, and that could be a measure of volatility because we're not moving that much. It could also be a measure of that people are expecting us to go higher, so they're keeping their bids nice and tight so they can accumulate. But we'll see. So right now we are below this 1 hour moving average, which on the 21 EMA. So yesterday that happened like this last night, and then we had that huge sell-off, or not huge, but it was about 50 points sell-off right before I went to sleep. Unfortunately, we clawed all the way back up overnight. I had set a short at 6,600 last night, and then throughout the night I was expecting it to come down and test the 6,400 area, except we clawed all the way back, and I got stopped out. So it was fine. I think we'll test today out of this range. So let's move on to ETH. So ETH is looking very good for a short. So let's actually go to the 2 hour so we can get a bit more. Right, so in the 2 hour, right, we've gone through moving average, 21 EMA. We're kind of testing these lows at 229. And we're being whipped around a lot, actually. So you can see the little spikes on either side. On the 2 hour, we've been whipped around a lot. Probably, at least in my head, we're gonna touch lows again at some point. So BTC is gonna have some sort of sell-off down to 6,100. ETH is gonna just die off and head back down to that 150 or 200. I'd say even like 150 range. That's 192. Let me go back to a 12-hour chart. So ETH again, just fix this trend line. ETH again, I think is looking to test this 160 area. We'll see though. It really just depends on whether BTC can sell off a bit more, and if it can, I mean, that'd be great. But you can see the book on ETH. Oh, this is BTC, so let's switch to the BitMEX ETH. Hold on a second. My wife is running away. So here you can see the book for ETH is really stacked at this 220 area, which is about $10 lower than where we are now. And I think, yeah, so definitely it's been stacked for a while. So I don't know. I think we may have a bit of a sell-off today. It would make sense as the volatility is compressed so much. Let's take a look at the other books. Oops. I would highly recommend using tensor charts. They do a really good job of go away. Do a really good job of providing heat maps for all the major exchanges. So ETH USD. So look, the book is still pretty stacked up here at this 236 area, 235. Let's take a look a little bit lower. Yeah, so you can see same in Bitfinex as well too. The biggest orders are down here at 220. Let's zoom out a bit. All right, so the biggest order stack is down here at 220. Is there anything any lower? No, there's nothing else lower. So 220 is really that big level that I expect us to come down and test. There's a lot of liquidity there, a lot of bids, but there's quite a lot to push through first. So I already have a short on from 229, which I rode all the way up and down. It looks like we're about to. It looks like we're about to sell off with BTC, so maybe we can retest these lows. And wherever we are going, yeah. So we may retest the lows on BTC. This is just a 15-minute chart, so we can see some more movement. You know, look at that. We had another retest of these highs, and we got rejected. There it goes. 64. We should see increasing sell-off now. So you can see it's getting sticky. Looks like we should come down and retest this 65.30 area where we bottomed out yesterday. You know, on both Bitfinex and GDAX, we had the highs not actually break through new highs, so it kind of got stopped out at this 66.40 area. And same for XBT as well too. So it peaked out at 66.35. And it looks to be where we're about to sell off. We're about to have a big move. It just looks like it's Bitfinex that's trying to push through. There it goes. 85, 78. Oof. Now we get the stick at Bitfinex at 6,600. So it gets sticky at these levels because there's a lot of bids to work through. Somebody's got to come through and push it out. Let's see it go through this 6,600 area. You know, you always see it kind of get stuck here as the bids come in. You know, you'll have your orders stacked. You'll have at the round levels. So for anybody who doesn't know, people usually tend to stack their orders at these like round levels. So 6,600, 6,650, anything. The hundreds are a bigger one, are always the biggest. Hundreds, thousands, tens, and then ones, depending on the size of the product. So you know, if we were if with BTC we were going to get to 10,000, that would be a big place where a lot of people would be placing their asks to sell off at 10,000 level. Or if we got down to like the 6,000 area for BTC, there'd be a lot of bids down there. So it just takes some time to really push through these areas. As you'll find that there's a lot of orders there, it becomes quite sticky. Maybe we're not going to retest. So just watch XBT. Okay, enough of that. Let's take a look at the other coins on BitMax. Let's take a look at the. Did it come up overnight? Oh, it did. So I shorted, I went long LTC last night, and I just hopped out before anything bad could happen. But it does look like it's gonna fall off a bit here, and we could retest these lows. So LTC, I have no comments on. Let's go to the 6 hour. That's too far. 2 hour. This is the wrong chart. The problem with the max futures charts is they're too small at the moment, so they're good for small things. So with XRP, I had been looking for a retest of 53, which on the 12-hour chart, or yeah, so 50, 52, 53 is the EMA. For the 12-hour, that's the kind of area that I'm looking for to have a retest. So I would expect that it comes down here, retests this 53 area, and then we get a further push up. So as you can see from XRP today, we peaked yesterday at 61. Now we're heading down again. We may test this like 55 area today. So we're definitely coming down to touch the moving averages. It's just how fast and how far are we going to come down. So depending on what BTC does today, I think it'll be the main driver of everything. So we're already having a bit of a sell-off now. Down 0.25%. XRP. I already had coffee there. Down 1%. LTC down 0.5%. So all the major alts are down. EOS, man, look at this yesterday. This was the big move yesterday. In that move right before I went to sleep, you had EOS drop off. What was this? 6% in just about half an hour. It was crazy. That was a massive move. Probably going to retest the lows here again today. So we had a test. We had we hit lows, came back up to cover, and now we're going to retest again. ADA also looking weak as well too. We're not getting above the moving average, which means that we could have a nice fall off. So I would be looking for shorts today, and I have been looking for shorts on ETH. I already have a short open on ETH. I have a small short open on BTC, and that's about it. I think what I wanted to look at today was WANCHAIN, because WAN is up. Let's take a look at the daily. Right. So WANCHAIN, that looks nice actually, just poking its head above the daily. Let's take a look at the 12-hour. It'll probably be a little bit better. Yeah, that's really nice actually. If you think WANCHAIN is bottomed out at this kind of 1200 to 1400 sats area, we may have a move coming up. So let's do this. Let's make WANCHAIN our trade for today. So with WANCHAIN, it would be there, and we'd be wanting to test these highs again. So here's the deal with WANCHAIN. We're looking for a 40% move, which was the previous highs from last time, plus and a 5% down move, which I don't think is too hard. It's a 7-to-1 almost. Now, if BTC goes to shit, this could all go out the window because you need BTC to kind of be advancing for all the other vaults to be advancing, or at least staying flat, which it has been. So yeah, but the risk reward here is pretty decent. 7-1. But really today I'm just looking for ETH. I'm looking for a sell-off in ETH. I'm looking for it to come down. Like the true breaking point is like if we break through this 220 area, we're definitely going down to test lows again. And it's what I'll be looking for. Same with BTC. Just looking for BTC to come down and test these lows at 6,400. You know, we need the volatility to come back to provide returns to traders, so you don't have to get over leveraged. And you know, you can take these 10% or 20% moves. Like when was the last time we had a 10% BTC move in under a week, or even in 2 weeks? Sorry. So it kind of wraps it up today. I will be back tomorrow